Weiss or Parks join us, we will have a quorum and we'll begin the meeting. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the Los Angeles City Council on this gloomy June day, Wednesday, June 1st, 2005. It is now 10:40 a.m.
Los Angeles, Mr. President.
We will get a study on that, Mr. Labange, I promise you. We have a quorum present. If we can please call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Cardenas, Garcetti, Gruel, Han, Labange, Ludlow, Miskowski, Parks, Perry, Reyes, Smith, Villaraigosa, Weisstein, Padilla, 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
First order of business, please.
Approval of the minute.
Okay. Mr. Zine moves, Mr. Labange seconds. The minutes are approved.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Ms. Hahn moves and Mr. Weiss seconds. Minutes are
Mr.
approved.
President, this is a time for comments from the public on items not on council's
I
agenda.
think we have one presentation just before that, actually. If I can recognize Mr. Zine at this time to give a presentation, then we'll take public comment. Would you prefer that? Okay, we'll take public comment first. All right. It's now time for public comment on items before jurisdiction, but not on our scheduled agenda today. I'd like to invite forward Alberto Rodriguez, Mireo Aguilar, Jose Felix Rodriguez, Jose Ochoa, Elias Ortiz, Manuel Sandoval, Magdalena Ortiz, Daniel Sangado, Margarita Carrera, Levid Escoto, Connie Garcia, Oscar Sandoval. If you'd like to come forward right now for public comment, the microphone is yours. Por favor.
Buenos días. Nosotros somos representantes de los campesinos del Sur Central. Venimos a conservar nuestro jardín.
Good morning. We come from South Central Farmers. We're here to preserve our garden.
Queremos pedirles que conserven jardines verdes para nuestros hijos, para nuestra familia, que se mantengan alejados de las drogas, de las pandillas.
We urge you to, we plead with you to conserve our green gardens, to keep our children in gardens away from crime, away from the drugs.
También nosotros venimos representando al departamento de Sur Central de Los Ángeles, Alameda Street, para decirles que aquí estamos y nos esperamos que nos apoyen.
We're also here from South Central Farmers on 41st and Alameda Street. Please help us and support us, and we're here to stay.
Es todo, muchas gracias.
That's all. Thank you very much. ¿Alguien más?
¿Hay otros que quieren hablar?
¿No quieren hablar todos? ¿Ya?
Okay.
it.
Okay. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next, for public comment, I'd like to invite Norvell Lewis forward, to be followed by Sister Diane Donahue, Blanca Perez, and Nilura Bell.
Hi, my name is Norvell Lewis, and I was here because I'm concerned about the inclusionary zoning, and I wanted to make some comments on that. One of the things that we need in here is because we have overcrowdedness in our communities, is that we need available houses and apartments so that our people will have a place to stay. And in this inclusionary zoning, I also wanted to make a note that while we need a lot of houses for a lot of other people that, you know, that are immigrants, we also need to be aware that a lot of African American families are disenfranchised in the housing position also. And so I wanted to, you know, let the committee know that we need to be addressing those inclusionary areas and plans that you have to also make sure that the African American community is not disenfranchised in this inclusionary zoning thing. Anyway, I am from Acorn and Say Yes to Children Network. Also, I'm from God's Little Cleaners. And we are here to support the, on the agenda for the inclusionary zoning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
Appreciate it.
Good morning. My name is Sister Diane Donahue, and I'm the Executive Director of Esperanza Community Housing. 5 years ago, I was the co-chair for the Affordable Housing Task Force that was charged by the City Council to propose ways of dealing with the housing crisis at that time, 5 years ago. This is the report. And we did a study that was very comprehensive, and we said we have to look for ways to have an adequate supply of affordable housing for the families who live and work in Los Angeles. And one of the main proposals was to have Los Angeles have inclusionary zoning. There are over 100 cities in California that include San Francisco, San Diego, Sacramento, Santa Monica, West Hollywood, Pasadena, that have this kind of ordinance. That's what we're looking for. And 5 years later, now, we're asking you to take the first step toward adopting this kind of policy that you formed and charged and was recommended in here. We have the great faiths of our community that have backed this kind of concern of taking care. And in the Torah, in Deuteronomy, we are charged to take care of the orphan, the alien, and the widow. Our God, then, is a God of the oppressed. And more so today, we have a concern not just for the folks on the margin, but for everyone. Everybody ought to have a chance. And when we have 80% of the citizens of this city at median income, $55,000 a year, $55,100, and cannot afford a house, that is the big challenge. What does it mean for kids that have to study and do their homework in a one-bedroom apartment, and there's no place to go? And how do they feel and concentrate in school when they are so crowded at home?
If I can ask you to conclude, Sister Diane.
Okay.
Thank you.
What I want to ask you is, can any of your children afford the house that you live in now? And I would suspect the answer is no. Only because, and this is what I want to ask you, please give this a fair hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Diane. Blanca Perez, Nilura Bell, and after that will be Suzanne Thompson and Sandra Rascon.
Thank you. Good morning, council members. My name is Nilura Bell, and I'm with the Local Initiative Support Corporation, but today I'm speaking on behalf of the Inclusionary Zoning Coalition, which is a broad coalition of members from across the city representing housing advocates, tenant organizations, faith-based organizations, neighborhood councils and labor who believe that we really must, in order for the city to be welcoming and inviting to all the residents, we must do something about our affordable housing crisis in the city. And we worked over a year to work with business representatives, community, and neighborhood organizers to come up with what we think is a very balanced plan. As most of you know, as part of this process, we've held 17 hearings across the city since April of last year. And in that time, we've listened to the concerns of all of the residents of the city, and some of the places where we've changed the proposal so that it is fair to everyone is that we've reduced the number of units that the developers would have to set aside. We've increased the housing income limits so that more people can be included in what we mean by inclusionary zoning. And we've also respected neighborhood planning and said those neighborhoods where there is a specific plan will have an opportunity and time to identify locations in their neighborhoods before there is an imposition on them. And finally, I'd like to say we've worked really hard to make sure that single-family neighborhoods are protected. So again, we have a very broad coalition representing a wide swath of the city, and encourage you to vote affirmatively on getting an inclusionary zoning policy in Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you. Blanca Perez.
Buenos días.
morning.
Mi nombre es Blanca Pérez y trabajo como janitor 40 horas a la semana.
Good morning. My name is Blanca Perez. I work as a janitor 40 hours per week.
Soy líder del sindicato 1877. Lucho para mejorar nuestras condiciones de trabajo y las pólizas de este país.
I'm a leader of 1877 Syndicate. I strive for better conditions here in this country.
Soy madre soltera. Tengo 2 niños. Mi niño tiene 13 años y mi niña tiene 9 años.
I'm a single mom, single parent mom. I have 2 children. I have a girl that's 13 and another one that's 9 years old.
Aunque trabajo mucho y participo mucho en mi sindicato, no me alcanza el dinero para pagar la renta.
Even though I work a lot and I participate in the syndicate activities or the union, I don't have enough money to pay the rent or for my housing.
Por un apartamento decente, ya que tengo que compartir el apartamento con mis padres.
For a decent apartment, and I have to share my apartment with my parents.
No puedo pagar la renta de un apartamento cómodo yo sola.
I can't pay the rent for a comfortable apartment, me alone.
Mis compañeros de CIU están en la misma situación.
My coworkers of SCIU, they're in the same situation.
Muchos viven en un apartamento con otras familias o viven en un apartamento de una recámara con 3 o 4 personas.
Many live overcrowded with a lot of family members or other members of the family.
Por eso es que nosotros y también CIU apoyamos esta propuesta de ley.
That's why SCIU approved this law.
También vivimos con nuestros hijos en áreas que no son muy seguras.
We also live in certain areas that aren't too safe or too secure.
La ciudad tiene que hacer un esfuerzo para asegurar que haya casas y apartamentos decentes.
The city has to do an effort to make sure there's affordable, decent, safe living areas.
Seguros y decentes para gente trabajadora como nosotros.
Decent, safe living places for decent people like us.
Esta propuesta de ley es un paso para ayudarnos en la superación de esta crisis ya que estamos viviendo.
This proposition of law is to help us to get better, to achieve what we're trying to achieve here.
Y es tiempo que pase esta propuesta de ley para el bien de nuestra comunidad y de nuestras familias.
And it's time for the proposition law to pass for us and for all our families here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Suzanne Thompson. Suzanne Thompson, and then Sandro Rascon and Robert Smith. And if I can ask people, our usual 10 minutes of public comment is up, but we'll try to work our way through these cards as quickly as possible, but if we can keep our comments as brief as possible. Thank you.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you with that wonderful applause. Good morning, council members and honorable chair. I'm Suzanne Thompson, the immediate past president of Grassroots Venice Neighborhood Council, and I've lived in Venice for over 22 years, and I'm a renter. And on July 12, 2004, the Grassroots Venice Neighborhood Council voted unanimously to endorse the inclusionary housing policy proposed at that time. We did so because Venice is rapidly gentrifying, and most of us couldn't afford to buy there now. And we think that this will help with traffic, because people who can live in our community will be able to walk to work, and it'll reduce traffic as well. And they'll be able to afford there. And we like the proposal for April that was proposed in April 2004. We thought it would be an improvement to our neighborhood and the city, and Santa Monica has it as well, and it's doing very well there. In 1982, the state adopted SB 1534, the Mellow Act. We have that in the coastal zone to promote secondary units as a source of affordable housing. Venice has the Mellow Act, which requires affordable units in the coastal zone. Grassroots Venice Neighborhood Council holds that providing affordable housing, especially in the coastal zone, is a civic obligation, council members. Recognized that we need to expand the Mellow Act beyond the coastal zone and outside the coastal area. We understand that there have been some compromises made with the current Fair Start Homes policy, and I will say that with the Mellow Act, enforcement and monitoring is a problem, so that's something that really needs to be addressed as well. And we hope that you will pass the Fair Start Homes policy now, because we see the benefits from the Mellow Act in Venice, and we know that it'll be good for the city, because we know we need more housing. Thank you.
Appreciate your comments very much. Sandra Rascon, to be followed by Robert Smith and John Grant.
Hello, good morning. My name is Sandra Rascon, and I am a single mother of 4 children. I am also a full-time special ed healthcare assistant working in East Los Angeles for the past 10 years. I am also a part-time student attending ELAC Community College. My family has lived in Boyle Heights for the past 20 years. We share a 2-bedroom apartment paying over $1,000 rent. For the past 5 years, I have been working with the ELAC to try and buy a home that they have guided me to where I am now, which is debt-free. Unfortunately, homes are so expensive in my community. Recently, I got on the waiting list for some beautiful, affordable homes that ELAC built, but there are more families than there are affordable homes. Me and my family have sacrificed so much, and we're not even sure that we will be one of the fortunate families. I hope you will pass the Fair Start Homes ordinance, because there are many people like me in LA. We are doing all we can to give ourselves and our children a fair start, but it's not enough. We need the city's help as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate your testimony. Robert Smith, John Grant, and then we'll hear from Relly Dema-Ala.
Good morning, Mr. Garcetti and ladies and gentlemen of the City Council. My name is Robert Smith, and I'm with the Painters and Allied Trades, District Council 36. And inclusionary zoning, low-income housing, that's very important to the city. Myself, I'm fortunate to be a homeowner. And one thing I've noticed in the last 5 years in just the neighborhood that I personally live in, is behind me, the apartment buildings and the homes behind me are now 2 and 3 families deep into the apartments. You know, there is no way children can study. It overburdens the neighborhoods. The real issue is not just 8 votes. 8 votes should not be nothing. I mean, that should be a slam dunk. We do a lot of things for big business in this city. We do a lot of good community things. The City Council has done a lot of good things city-wide. This is very important. Everybody has to have a place to lay their head at night. You know, as a young man, my father told me, you can be an adversary of somebody, and you can take them on at the street corner or at your job or anywhere, but when a man goes home, to leave him alone, because that's the only place he's got for sanctuary. And when people don't have a good sanctuary to go to, what are they raising their children into? We need housing in the city, done correctly, affordably. I mean, I make a lot more money than most of these people right here, and I could not buy a house right now. There is no way me and my wife, combined income, could pay for a house, let alone a lot of these people right here. There is no way. And there's people with less jobs than these people that make a lot less money than these people. I would like to have one of my members briefly speak, and then I'll leave you alone.
My name is Lloyd Cooks. I work for the city of Los Angeles as a painter. And however, at this particular time, in the way houses are in LA, I can't even afford a house at this area. And I make very good wages as far as I'm concerned. And as far as the society is concerned, I make very good wages, and I can't afford a house at this particular time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. If Mr. Grant will indulge us for a second, David Viescas is a firefighter who needs to get back to work. If I can call ahead of you, just David Viescas, and then we'll take you, Mr. Grant, as the next speaker after him. I know he needs to get to work. Mr. Viescas?
I'm privileged to be working with the U.S. Forest Service, specifically the Fuego Tech Rangers, and I was playing 835 for a residence in Hollywood, and that was just for a studio. And I'm a seasonal firefighter, and I have to supplement my income by working as for a sales and leasing company, helping whatever they need me to do. I'll wash cars or I'll help with paperwork. And the thing is we're not talking about people that if you go around the corner, you see them living in a cardboard box. We're talking about housing for 80% of the people of this city who are middle class and cannot afford a home. What does it do to a man or to a woman's, to her self-esteem, their self-worth, their spirit, to see their family suffering, to work 50 hours plus and not be able to go home to that sanctuary that the painter was talking about? How would you feel if you came here every day and you sat behind your big desk in your nice leather chair and you had to go home to that situation? I think that that's something that this council needs to think about. We as the people of this city elected you to take care of these things, to make a way and a means and an opportunity for us to have dignity and self-respect. And I think that we need to ask ourselves, what are we really doing here? Is it about the people? And I urge you to go forward with this ordinance. 8 votes, get the process started. We have a long way to go, but we're out here today. We're out here today to show this showing. A lot of us took time off from work. We took money out of our check. We took food off our table to come out here and say that we need this for us. And we need you to do your part. We're doing our part. We're working. We're out there struggling, and we need you to do your part and rally together and get these votes so that we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vieques. John Grant. And then Reli Dema Allah will be our next speaker. And after Reli Dema Allah will be Chris Gabriel and Justin Perlman. And at that point, I think we're going to have to read the rest of the names into the record.
Good morning, Mr. President, council members. My name is John Grant. I'm the in-house counsel and the director of the Manufacturing, Food Processing, and Packing House Division of the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 770. On behalf of President Icaza, I want to thank you for this opportunity today to speak about the question of inclusionary zoning. And I want to address 2 issues that aren't normally command the attention. The first is the question of integration, and I don't mean integration in the racial sense, so that clearly is an important part of this, nor integration in the income sense of that different incomes will be able to live in the same community. But I mean the question of economic integration. And with respect especially to the grocery industry, after the horrible strike that we had last year, and I want to thank you all, or many of you, for your support, there's been a tremendous restructuring and retaliation against our union members, over 10,000 of them, who work within the city of Los Angeles. And they've been transferred from one part of the city to another. And because of the high cost of affordable housing, because of the high cost these days of transportation, and because, in fact, the ineffectiveness of our transportation system, many of them are limited, if not precluded, from accepting transfers at the same rate of pay, the same amount of hours to another part of the city. So, in fact, they've had to take a reduction in pay and, in fact, hours. The second area I want to address is the question of community participation. And people actually participate in the areas that they live. But the lack of affordable housing in this city precludes us from participating in our communities because we spend our time commuting. And it's especially true for those enfranchised workers, those workers who have a voice in the workplace, which are union workers. And it's been our experience that workers who are part of the negotiating committee, who are part of the health and safety committee, who are part of labor management cooperation teams, are unable to participate because of the commute, because of the distances, and because of their inability to live and work within the city of Los Angeles.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
So for that question, we really implore you to please accept and vote for inclusionary housing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grant. Rally Dema Allah. Welcome.
Good morning, council members. My name is Relly Demala, and I'm a full-time registered nurse and have been for 33 years. I work at Glendale Memorial and live in Panorama City. I live in a condominium co-owned with my sister, who is also a full-time RN. We are lucky to live and work within the city. We both work real hard to save money for our home. Let me tell you, it has been very difficult, even though we don't have kids. Housing prices have skyrocketed. Owning or renting a place to live within the city is almost impossible for all working people. A number of my co-workers in the hospital have to drive all the way from Palmdale or as far as Victorville to come to work. They have no choice but to lose quality time with their family, spend driving, or choose to live in crowded apartments in the city, living with high crime rates, sending their kids to crowded schools, and work 2 jobs just to pay the rent. Hardworking people shouldn't have to do that. They should be able to afford living near their place of work, be able to contribute back to the city. The city needs to take a more serious look at the lack of affordable housing for all hardworking people. California Nurses Association supports the Fair Start Homes policy. I have been very involved with CNA. We have been leading the fight for safe patient care, better working conditions, and decent wages. The city needs to do more to address the lack of affordable housing for working people. The time to pass this ordinance is now.
Thank you
very much.
Appreciate your testimony. Chris Gabriel and Justin Perlman.
Good morning, members of the council. My name is Justin Perlman. I'm a member of the Progressive Jewish Alliance, though I'm here to talk to you today as a university student. And I'm here to point out that this is an issue that cuts across class and background. Although I'm really here today because many of the previous speakers have pointed out their roots in Los Angeles, I'm focused on the future of LA. And I'll tell you what I see. I see an exodus of my fellow students, both undergraduate and graduate, out of LA when it comes time to find work. They're off to Arizona, Nevada, Midwest, but especially they're off to San Diego or any of the other over 100 cities in California that have inclusionary zoning ordinances. Now, these are people who want to contribute to Los Angeles as teachers, as healthcare workers, and the like. They're committed members of the community, but they want to live as part of the middle class. So I'll give you some specifics. A quick informal survey of some peers at USC showed that close to a quarter have to return and live with parents. Something under a half live in the kind of budget-busting scenarios in studio apartments or crammed in among multiple roommates. And the remaining group, a group that's expanding each semester and every year, are people who want to stay in LA but can't and are leaving. And with a median home price in the city going way over $400,000, I hope that I am not in that position someday. So I urge you to pass the inclusionary zoning Fair Start ordinance. It really will benefit all of Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Chris Gabriel.
Thank you, council members. If I could, council members, Mr. Parks, Mr. Zine, and everybody, just have your attention for a moment. I will only take a minute of your time. My name is Chris Gabriel, and I'm an organizer with a community organization called POWER, People Organized for Westside Renewal. And we come from Venice, and we work in the west side of Los Angeles in low-income areas. We work on affordable housing, education, welfare rights, and just general issues to uplift these low-income communities and make them better. Now, you might think Venice, oh, that's the area of Baywatch, that's Julia Roberts, it's all these movie stars by the beach. But one thing that you don't know is that Venice and other areas of the coastal zone in Los Angeles, especially in the Mar Vista, Venice area, have been part of a low-income community since the turn of the century, part of the Machado land grant. We have a deep, rich root of Black, Latino, white, and Asian working class people living there. In 1996, The price of a house in Venice was $200,000. Today, that same house is $800,000. Gentrification is killing the community. But we have a wonderful law, and that law is called the Mellow Act. I think some of you guys have heard of the Mellow Act. 10% for very low income, 20% for low income on every single development that goes into the coastal zone. And you know what? It works. In an area where $800,000 is the median price for a house, this type of inclusionary zoning works. If it could work in Venice, it could work anywhere in the city, bottom line. So basically, when it breaks down to it, if you don't like mixed communities, if you don't like poor people living in houses, if you are for segregation, then you probably want to vote no on inclusionary zoning. But if you are for equality, if you care about justice, if you really give a darn that people have a good, solid place to live, and you are for solving the housing crisis in Los Angeles, then you have no other choice but to vote yes for inclusionary zoning, bottom line.
We're going to have to read into the record the remaining names, and my apologies to everybody. We're about 20 minutes over right now. Kevin Grimes from SEIU, Kenia Barbosa from East LA Community Corporation, Helen Coleman from Acorn, got Albert Grimes twice, Maria Gomez from Acorn. We just have to read those names in the record. I'm sorry. Because of time, we're going to have to close public comment, but thank you very much. That closes public comment. And next order of business, please.
On the regular agenda, Mr. President, item number 1 is an item noticed for public hearing, and I believe there is a card on that item.
Okay, we have one card on item number 1. I'd like to invite Sylvia Lynn Hawkins forward at this time to comment on number 1.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ms. Sylvia Lynn Hawkins. I will vote no on number 1 before any more improvements or maintenance of downtown street lighting underground. We must be aware of our Corona military is at Hawk Ward 5 at this time. And they're finding under parking lot structures, houses, schools, hills, mountains, and under buildings. There are illegal people of 18 different races living free, stealing food, animals, money, and products. If these people are caught under living free, they shall be captured to die and be acid down with no funeral. We must all pay our bills and not live a free, codependent lifestyle. No more living free. 30% off, halfway off. Can no one live in mountains under parking structures, whether it's on Centinela and Leticia? Anyone caught under living is now dead. Thank you very much,
Ms. Hawkins. That closes public comment for item number 1. If we can open the rolls. Oh, Ms. Hahn, would you like to speak on this, please?
Thank you, members. This item was carried over from last time because we did not have the 12 votes, but I just wanted to take the opportunity to say I'm very excited about this lighting district in downtown San Pedro, and I really want to thank all the hard workers of my staff and the Chamber of Commerce and the Community Advisory Committee. This will completely, we think, help downtown San Pedro revitalize. There's a renaissance going on in downtown San Pedro, and everyone knows that good lights prevent crime, good lights attract people who want to come and shop, good lights really do improve a community. And I must say, this was a result, you know, these lighting districts, if you've heard me since I got elected, I was complaining about the ballots. I didn't think they were easy to read. I was complaining about the outreach because I think a lot of people were voting no. Do you remember when the city of Los Angeles did not vote on lighting districts? And I changed all that. We have a great informational, easy-to-read ballot. The City of Los Angeles now, if they own property, they vote yes. We also went door to door in all the downtown businesses to make sure that they understood that this was an important thing. It would really help transform downtown San Pedro. So I ask for your vote, your aye vote on this to help us on our renaissance of downtown San Pedro and our whole waterfront area. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hahn. Anybody else wishing to be heard on this? Seeing none, let's open the roll on the item, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
And I believe actually this was the first reading of it, so that'll carry over, Ms. Hahn. Okay. If we can run through the agenda, and then Mr. Zine has a presentation, we'll just call our specials first, and then we'll turn it over to Mr. Zine if we can run through the rest of the agenda.
The next item, Mr. President, is item number 2. That's also a public hearing item, and the recommendation for council action would be to continue the hearing and ordinance to June 22nd.
Okay. Should we open and close the public hearing?
Just open the hearing.
Okay, we'll open the hearing, and we'll leave that open and continue it till then. Next items?
Next items are items for which public hearings have been held, items 3 through 30. On item number 16, Councilmember Zine is requesting that matter be referred back to HCED committee.
Okay, if there's no objection, we'll refer item 16 back to HCED. Any specials, colleagues?
27.
Mr. Parks?
27.
27. 27 special. Any others, colleagues?
And I'm sorry, Mr. President, there's also one other request. On item number 19, Mr. Reyes would like that matter to be continued for 1 week to June 8th.
Okay. If there's no objection to that, seeing none, we will continue it till then. Okay. If we have 27 special, any other specials? Yes, Ms. Hahn.
Special for Tom LaBonge.
26 special for Mr. LaBonge. Any other specials, colleagues?
And also, Mr. President, there is an amending motion on item number 28 that has been distributed.
28. Okay. We will take that up if nobody calls that special as amended with the balance of the items. So seeing no other specials, if we can open the roll on the balance of the items, close the rolls and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
Those items are approved.
And the ordinances will go over for 1 week.
Okay. Other items?
Next items are items for which public hearings have not been held, items 31 through 49. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay. Colleagues, any specials 31 through 49? Seeing none, let's open the roll on those, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
Those items are approved as well. Next
And
items.
the ords will go over for 1 week on those items also.
Okay.
The next items are the closed session items, items 50 through 55, and there is a request from the city attorney to continue item number 52 for 1 week.
Okay, if there's no objection, colleagues, we'll continue item 52 for 1 week. And why don't we keep the rest on the desk for closed session?
And then on the continuation agenda, item number 56, nothing has been received from the clerk's office as yet, so no action is required by council on that matter.
Okay, we'll take no action on that right now. Ms. Gruhl.
I would like to ask item number 35 to go forthwith, please.
It's an ordinance, so it's going to carry over actually for another.
We don't have, that's right, we don't have
Sorry?
12 people. It needs 12?
Yep, we need 12 votes for that, so that'll carry over unless we have 4 excuses today, so what happened? Okay. And if we can do 18 forthwith, please. Okay. Well, we return to presentation. Mr. Zine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Acting President. Councilmember Eric Garcetti. Joining me are representatives from Magnolia Science Academy, students at Magnolia Science Academy on Sherman Way in the beautiful city of Reseda. They recently won the 55th annual Los Angeles County Science and Engineering Fair. Let's hear it for that accomplishment. In September 2002, the school was open, Magnolia Science Academy. It's a tuition-free public LAUSD charter school focusing on math, science, and technology-oriented curriculum, concentrating on a hands-on approach to science while providing a solid education in humanities and social science. They have 360 students in grades 6 to 12, with an average class size of 26 students. Their goal is to help build strong minds by bringing each student up to the same level of education, unlike a magnet school which only teaches the advanced students. And the key is the teacher's willingness to educate and their commitment to not only the students they teach, but also the families, school, and the community. I've had the pleasure of visiting the school on a few occasions, resting there on Sherman Way, and we'd like to get a playground for the students. Right? Yes. Yes. But this accomplishment was brought about by a vision of the founder, the founding principal of Magnolia Science Academy, had the vision and shared his dreams of creating a leading science and math academy in the San Fernando Valley. In only 3 years, this dream has come true. And the founding principal, Joseph Hermali, is the principal, the founding principal, and he has other representatives with him. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Joseph to explain exactly what we're going to be seeing. Some magic, right? Some magic. And introduce the students here this morning from Magnolia Science Academy. Joseph.
Thank you very much for inviting for us. And in 55th Los Angeles County Science and Engineering Fair, and there were more than 731 projects, and 142 from LA County, and 16 of them from our school. And from our school, we have 2 gold medal winners and 1 silver medal winner. First one is Nadim Islam, first place gold medal winner. Nadim. And he did a project in applied chemistry, and his project title is Stop Freezing, Effects of Various Substances on the Freezing Point of Water. And so this is Nadim's project, Stop Freezing, and he got the first place gold medal. And another gold medal, Jan Davitian, first place winner in mathematics and computers in junior division, 7th grade. Project title, A Wheel Goes Far, Eye-Hand Coordination. And he has his project on the computer, but...
Well, let's show it.
Okay.
It's in here. It's in here.
And another winner is Zaratushka Brady. He got a silver medal, 2nd place in mathematics and computer science, senior division. And the project title is Can a Computer Predict Humans' Decision? Artificial Intelligence. Actually, he has been invited to the USA Invitational Olympiad for Informatics in Denver and had to leave this morning. And only 20 students across the United States earned this prestigious invitation. And Zeb is the only one from California, actually. And Zeb is 14 years old and in the 10th grade. And his sister, Galadriel, accepted on his behalf. And in the same science fair, we have 3 honorable mentions. James Brigham, honorable mention, Mathematics and Computer Science, Senior Division, 9th grade. Again, it's in the computer, Mathematics and Computer Science.
He has nothing to show today.
Okay.
You got this to show.
And another award winner is Clyde Award, honorable mention. He is out sick today, actually, in computer and mathematics. And on his behalf, his teacher can accept the medal. Mr. Karatash. Thank you, Mr. Karatash. And another honorable mention, George Lazana, Chemistry Junior Division, 7th grade. You can show up.
Wow.
Okay. And there will be several other students who competed in the 55th Annual Los Angeles County Science Fair and Engineering Fair. And however, they will receive in-house certificates in the press room. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Zain.
Thank you. And we have some other representatives with the school today. You want to introduce them also? Sure.
And we have our actually PTF president, Gigi Klein here.
Gigi, come on up.
Parent Task Force.
Through the obstacle course?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else is here from the school?
We have project coordinator, Andy Gökçe. He helped us a lot to create all the projects.
Andy?
And we have Vicky Landry, our previous PTF president. And we have another parent, Miss Brigham here, a parent whose son also got an honorable mention medal.
So the San Fernando Valley has El Camino wins the decathlon. Magnolia Science Academy wins the 55th annual award, science and engineering. And again, another wonderful educational school in the San Fernando Valley. You taking applications for new students? Yep. And you're located on Sherman Way, just east of Reseda on the south side of the street, Magnolia Science Academy. And to all the students, would you rather be in class or be here in City Hall? Rather be here? Okay, we'll give you a tour of the building. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zine. Appreciate your presentation, and congratulations again to all of the awardees today. If we can return to the regular agenda and take up our first special item, please.
And that would be item number 26, called special by Councilmember Labange.
Mr. Labange, item 26.
Yeah, if we could hold this on the desk, we're waiting for the Bureau
Okay.
of Engineering to
Great.
come.
We'll hold that on the desk. Item 27 is our next.
Could I have 17 forthwith for Ms. Misikowski?
Sure, we'll do 17 forthwith. And Mr. Parks called item 27 special, our next one. Mr. Parks?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to ensure, and looking at the item 27, particularly on the financial impact, that there's committee report reflects a $1 to $2 million cost that has no financial source. We'd just like to ensure that, as the committee directed item 1 and 2 to do the study and on the status of creating this quiet zone, that before any implementation of or looking for financial resources, particularly the general fund, that it comes to budget and finance. So I'd like to make that as a verbal motion.
Okay. If that's accepted as a friendly amendment, then anybody else wishing to speak on this? If not, let's open the rolls on 27, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
That is approved as amended by Mr. Parks. Next item, please.
Mr. President, do you wish to, well, item number 26 is still on the desk. Do you wish to clear the desk before going into closed session?
Why don't we do that? And Mr. Labange, we're done before our closed session items. You want us to hold it on desk for after closed session?
Let's continue it a day until,
We'll continue till Friday?
yeah, the last of the department be here.
All right.
Members, this deals with issues of working in the street.
Okay. We'll continue that if there's no objection, item 26 till Friday, June 3rd. And hearing none, so ordered. Okay, why don't we clear the desk before we go into closed session?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Those are posted and referred.
There is an excuse on the desk. Councilmember Cardenas requests to be excused Wednesday, June 8th, to leave at 11:30 for city business that meets council policy.
Okay, he is excused.
And that clears the desk for closed session.
All right, now in accordance with California state law, we're going into executive session to deal with legal matters before us. If we can please ask folks to clear their council chambers, and we'll come back into open session and make public any decisions that we have made. Thank you. Welcome back. We are now back in open session. We took some action on some items in closed session. Madam Clerk, if you can run through those for public consideration.
The first item before council is item number 50, and that's settlement accepting $350,000, and that's tax assessments against Network Telephone Services, Inc.
All right, can we please open the roll on that? Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
That is approved. Next item, please.
Item number 51, and that's settlement City versus Simons Saqib et al., and that's accepting $80,000 in settlement.
Okay, if we can open the roll on that item, please. Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
Okay, next item. That is approved.
Next item is item number 53, and that's a workers' comp claim, a settlement in the amount of $118,795 plus a life pension, $76.33 per week.
We can open the roll on that. Please close the roll and tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
That is approved. Next item, please.
Next item is 54, and that's also a workers' comp claim, Leonard Duvernay versus City, and that's in the amount of $135,000.
Okay, we can open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
That is approved as well.
Last item is item number 55, also workers' comp, Antonio Johnson versus City of Los Angeles, and that's in the amount of $104,305 with a life pension thereafter $50.25 per week.
Okay, let's open the roll on that item, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 eyes.
Okay, that's approved.
And that clears the desk.
Okay, that clears the desk. Colleagues, do we have any announcements? Mr. Labange.
Yeah, today's the first day of June, which I think is so important to recognize. It's our 6th month and how rapidly fast this year is moving ahead. And I think Ms. Hahn has suggested that we do a motion to erase the word June gloom from our vocabulary. It should be more brighter in this great city of Angeles.
Some people embrace the June gloom because it's not as hot as July or August. So we'll take it up for sure. We appreciate that. Any other announcements, colleagues? All right, if I can ask everybody in council chambers to please rise for adjourning motions. Adjourning motions, colleagues? Anybody on the left wing? Seeing none? The right wing? It's just, geographical. The west wing and the east wing. Adjourning motions. Mr. Parks, do you have any?
Oh, no. Let me, did we pass the announcements?
Yeah, but if you have an announcement, go ahead. Why don't you make it at this time?
Let me just, a couple of announcements. For the 8th District, second annual Youth Job and Career Fair will be done on June 4th, 9:30 to 2 p.m. at Crenshaw Christian Center, 7901 Vermont. Also, on Saturday, June the 4th, a Motivational Empowerment Summit will be held at Audubon Middle School. Features discussions on finance, entering the job market, affordable housing, daycare. This will be also done at 11 a.m. at Audubon at 4th Avenue and King Boulevard. And then another announcement, Leimert Park Village Farmers Market every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Vision Theater parking lot at Degnan and 43rd Street.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parks. Any other announcements? No more announcements. Any adjourning motions, colleagues? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, if you please call the roll. Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.
You are watching LA City View, Channel 35. Your city, your channel.